I'm sitting here with Matt Sargent from Chelsea, talking about his project that he's been working on since 1995, sex, drugs and HIV. Basically, this came about through you being diagnosed with HIV in 1985.
I was diagnosed in 1989, so that was the idea was to give something back to the charities that helped me
Oh, okay.
in my life. Yeah. But the charity also supports rape crisis, release, which is a drugs charity, Tony Siggins Trust, and cancer research.
Oh, excellent. And you've basically you've got over 40 tracks there. I think 200 musicians have worked on it.
Yeah, about 214 together. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, like you've had like Judge Dredd, people like that. And
yeah, the list is endless. Yeah.
Polystyrene before she died.
Yeah.
You know, this is going on sale, isn't it? And
it's going to be on sale on the 2nd of November, which is the official release date. It'll be available on Amazon and through the website www.sexdrugsandhiv.com.
oh, okay. What have you got personally from this whole experience of recording this?
Well, it's been a great experience just working with the musicians, hanging out with the guys, collaborating on some of the songs, and it's been an honour for me, like I say, to work with the musicians on there.
Yeah, I've watched loads of videos and it did look like you was having a really good time.
Yeah, there's been some great times.
Recording it all. Who do you think was? Did you work with any of your heroes on that?
Mark Brzezinski from Big Country he's been one of my favourite drummers since I was a kid, so it's great to work with him. Brian Robinson from Thin Lizzy, great guitarist, always loved Thin Lizzy, so those were great personal experiences for me.
Back in like the 80s, early 90s, there was loads of charity things going on for it now, and it's sort of taken a back seat to cancer. Do you think it's important to get all the charitable stuff going back for it and get it back in the public light?
Yeah, I mean, definitely in the UK it's a lot easier in the UK because we've got the free National Health Service. Places like America, you still have to pay for your medication. Africa, obviously, there's not a lot of money flying around. So in these places, it's still quite needed. And like you say, HIV isn't as taboo as it was a while ago because it's not curable, but it's sustainable. So people it's not a death sentence anymore. Put it that way.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I've got haemophilia. I've had a mate of mine that actually contracted HIV for blood transfusion and died of it. And so I think it's a really good cause. How easy was it to get some of the artists to work on it? I mean, did you have to really persuade some of them, or was everyone really receptive to the idea of?
Not really. I mean, most of the musicians thought it was a great idea from the start, and it was done through word of mouth. I phoned someone up and asked them to do it, and they'd suggest other musicians who might be interested in doing it, and pass on telephone numbers and give them a call or drop them an email or a fax back then. Send them a cassette in, as it was back then as well, and if they'd like the track, they'd do it, and some of the vocalists wanted to put their own spin on it, so they've done their own lyrics, and in Brian Robson's case, he wrote certain parts of the music for the project.
What are the biggest acts on the album?
We've got pop stars on there like Tony Hadley from Spandau Ballet, Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden, Polystyrene.
Because she died.
Yeah, she died of breast cancer a few years back now. Same with Paul Fox from the Ruts, guitarist from the Ruts, he died of cancer. Kelly Johnson from Girls' School died of cancer, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to support cancer research. Yeah.
What's been the feedback on this whole project so far?
It's been ongoing for 19 years, and the musicians, like I say, it's due for release on the 2nd of November. I've been giving out some promo copies to musicians and for press, and all the feedback on it has been great. And it's good that it's not just a charity album with an audio. You can actually get a DVD with it of the musicians playing the songs, so you can actually see what they actually did on the track.
Yeah. How many clips are there on there?
There's 40 songs, so there's 40 videos.
Oh wow! So there's a video for every track.
Yeah.
Excellent. I didn't realise that.
And all the tracks they join up together. I was kind of influenced by Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells, where the track just kind of played for the whole of the first side. There's no breaks in between the songs, and I kind of quite like that. It took me on a kind of musical journey, which I wanted to do. So there's the black album and the white album. There's a double CD and the DVD, which joins the black and the white album. So it's a constant piece of music. The tracks were recorded individually, and there's also link sections as well, where there would have been a break, but they kind of linked the tracks together.
Oh, okay. I mean, so what's going to happen now? What's going to happen after this? What's the next stage?
Well, lots of press and promotion. I've also got the Sex, Drugs and HIV project band, which is Rock and Roll Gypsies. So we're planning to go out and play some live shows. We play all songs from the project to go out and promote the album.
And have you got any dates coming up?
We're on the bill for Rebellion next year.
That's Rebellion 2015.
Yeah. I mean, I think our first show was Chislehurst Caves
in
that. 2000.
Yeah, I saw that clip. That was brilliant.
And it's been a kind of ever-changing lineup because there's been so many different musicians on the project. We just get different guitarists, different drummers. You know, we're quite a selection of people to choose from.
You're something of a supergroup, really, aren't you? Because the members that are coming and going through it.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Once that's done, anything else that's you looking at in the future?
Yes.
Are you going to expand this? Or?
Well, like I say, the whole project was filmed, so I'm working on this 31-hour documentaries. I mean, there was 170 hours of footage filmed of the project. So I've been clipping that up to make into these 30 documentaries about the musicians turning up and playing on the tracks and hanging out in the kitchen, chatting to other musicians, and it's quite an interesting insight how the album was put together. So I'm working on that. I'm hopefully putting that out as a box set for next year.
So it'll be like a special edition?
Yeah, because it'll be the 20th anniversary of the project from when I started it next year.
Oh, that's cool. Excellent. So you basically chose the musicians to play each bit. So, you know, someone will play that bit there and someone will play that bit there. How did you choose the musician for each individual bit?
Well, it's a bit like fantasy league football for music, really. The musicians were kind of out of their comfort zone. You get maybe a heavy metal musician playing on a reggae track, or a reggae musician playing on a punk track. And so a lot of the tracks, I thought, well, that musician would be good for that track. Or if they've got a certain genre of music that they're kind of from, I'd put them on a certain track, but with maybe something slightly different, with maybe a pop singer or someone a little bit different from what they used to doing.
So did it all work out, or was there any disasters?
Well, give it a play and let me know what you think.
Oh really? So there's nothing not a lot cut?
I'm very happy with the project. It's taken me a long time to do it. A lot of sifting through all the masters, and I think it took about 3 months in total to master all the songs. And it was finally mastered at Abbey Road. So I'm very happy with the outcome.
How was it financed as well?
I just paid for it myself.
You paid for it yourself?
Paid for all the recording.
Okay, I mean, how does it feel to have the finished product now after working on it for so long?
Great. It's really good. I'll be even happier when all the documentaries are in place, because I think they're a great thing for people to see. So I mean, like I say, people can see the DVD of the tracks, but the actual documentary stuff is something special.
It's more behind the scenes sort of.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And this is just going to be an ongoing project then, pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, the World AIDS Day is the 1st of December, and that's every year. So we kind of plan an annual event to promote the album on World AIDS Day.
Where was it recorded?
I used Dave Goodman's studio. Dave Goodman was the Sex Pistols producer, and he lives in Gypsy Hill, or he lived in Gypsy Hill, he's passed away now. We recorded a couple of Chelsea albums there and a couple of Splodge albums there, so I was quite used to working with Dave, who was known as the Phil Spector of punk.
Oh, okay.
He was kind of quite crazy with his ideas, and he was great at, he'd have instruments all around the studio. Sometimes you'd twang one and say, yeah, get that off the wall and stick a bit of that on there. So it was Dave Goodman's Mandala Studios where the majority of the albums recorded. Around 150 musicians recorded there. And like I say, Dave sadly passed away in 2005, so I needed to find another studio, which I used Panther Studios in Reigate in Surrey, which is run by Dick Crippen, the bass player from Sepultura in Kurt. And he's great. He actually played on the album, on the original sessions of Dave Goodman's, and he agreed to help me finish the project.
So would you say Dave Goodman had a major effect on this project?
Me and Dave were very, very, very close friends, and yeah, he was a very good instigator, and he found the best way to get the best out of the musicians. Yeah.
You know, the whole thing about getting musicians out of their comfort zone and like having, you know, someone that plays metal playing reggae. What if it had all gone wrong? What would you have done then? If the, you know,
I'd probably turned into a punk rock song. But, some of the songs were experimental. There's an R&B track on the album called Ecstasy, which was totally experimental and written in the studio. And it's got some bizarre musicians, Giz Buck from The Prodigy on there, Tony James, who's ex-Sputnik.
Tony James from Generation?
That's right, yeah. Musicians from Bomb the Bass, S Express.
Wow, that's really...
Yeah, there's kind of quite a strange breed of musicians, but from that track came something completely different, which was great. It supports 4 great charities. People might not necessarily have friends or relatives that might have been touched by HIV, but certainly cancer or rape crisis or had drug problems. So the 4 main charities, I think it kind of covers the board. The music is great, and the videos, it's just a great concept, so it's definitely worth getting in.
I mean, one of the things that shocked me as well was the way, I don't know whether it was you, someone on one of the videos says getting musicians are the only people that will come and do stuff like this for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, yeah, I've found that in the past as well. Why do you think that is, you know?
Well, I think it was actually Johnny Pato from Johnny Kid and the Pirates who said it originally, but I think there's a great camaraderie with the musicians, and especially with things like the Live Aid and any support that they can do through their art.
Give something back,
yeah, that's right.
to speak. And other than this, what other projects have you got coming up?
I'm playing with Chelsea, with Jenny Bellstar, playing with Splodge Bounds, and Have Guitar Will Travel. That's my motto at the moment. All the signatures from the musicians on the back as well.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, mate. Well, now you're talking about it.
Be a voiceover.